Hi everyone. I want to wish you a happy Hanukkah. Hope you have a wonderful celebration with your family and with your friends and with our community over the course of the holiday, which begins Tuesday night with the first candle. I wanted to share just one message about the holiday with you. Of course, the Hanukkah, the Hanukkah menorah, has 8 branches plus the shamash, the helper candle, the one that we light all the other candles with. And we get the idea for the 8 candles from the story of the oil, which was discovered in the temple after the Maccabees were able to retake the temple and purify it, and they only found the one little cruse of oil, which was supposed to last one day, and eventually lasted 8. And so we celebrate that. And that is the story that the Talmud tells us. But historians tell us that there may have been another reason for the fact that Hanukkah became an 8-day festival. In fact, it comes from the book of the Maccabees, not a book which is found in our Bible, but a book, or 4 books actually, 4 books of the Maccabees, written by Jews. And even though it didn't become part of Jewish scripture, it tells us a bit about the events of those years. And I think actually the story in the book of Maccabees helps us think about one way we might actually celebrate Hanukkah in a pretty unusual way. And you're going to need your calendar for this, because what I'm going to ask you to do is take out your calendar, perhaps your phone which has your calendar on it, and I want you to find September 28th and 29th, 2015. And I want you to mark those days as Sukkot, because the festival of Sukkot actually begins on the 28th and 29th. The festival is actually a 7-day festival, topped off with Shmini Atzeret and then Simchat Torah. At the time of the Maccabees, they were fighting against the Syrian Greeks, and at the time that year when the festival of Sukkot fell, they weren't able to celebrate Sukkot. Sukkot is a very important holiday. In fact, the rabbis called it Hechag, the festival, perhaps because it was such a festive festival, but it was also a key time for prayer and sacrifice and of a bit of concern about the coming rainy season. There are all sorts of prayers asking God to send rain so that the crops will grow in the coming year. And without those prayers, the Jewish people were worried that the rainy season would not provide the rain that they really needed for the crops. And so when they finally took back the temple, not in September, around the time that Sukkot usually falls, but later in the year, this time of year, they actually decided that they should celebrate Sukkot, even though it was late, better late than never. And because Sukkot is a 7-day festival followed by the 1 day of Shmini Atzeret, according to the way the Torah describes it, that makes 8 days. And so we think Hanukkah became an 8-day festival to parallel making up for the festival of Sukkot. So if you really want to celebrate Hanukkah the right way, in addition to your candles, in addition to latkes, in addition to dreidel, in addition to all the different ways that we celebrate Hanukkah, if you really want to do it right, celebrate Sukkot. Celebrate Sukkot next year and every year after. The Maccabees and the Jewish people of their time recognized that Sukkot was so important that even if they couldn't do it at the right time, better to do it than not do it. All the more for us, who have the freedom and the opportunity and the possibility of celebrating Sukkot on a yearly basis. Sukkot is a beautiful holiday of celebrating in the sukkah, lulav and etrog. We sing Hallel. It's a great opportunity to be with people, to invite people into your sukkah, to welcome people in. And it's one of those holidays which I think doesn't get the attention perhaps it really deserves. Aside from being a festival that the Torah commands, it's just a wonderful time. And for many, it's their favorite holiday. So I hope, especially for those who haven't given Sukkot a real chance, as you think about Hanukkah now, you'll put Sukkot on your calendar for the coming year, and you'll be able to celebrate that as well. I hope you have a Chag Urim Sameach, a wonderful and happy Hanukkah.